beside the railway line. First up is something white, of the blinding kind. Some of you are most likely thinking that white is not really a color and all that tried sort of nonsense. Well, I'm here to tell you that it is. White is without a question a color, and personally, I don't think you want to argue with me. A reassuring announcement. Please be calm. Despite that previous threat, I am all bluster, I'm not violent, I'm not malicious, I am a result. Yes, it was white. It felt as though the whole globe was dressed in snow, like it had pulled it on the way you pull on a sweater. Next to the train line, footprints were sunken to their shins. Trees wore blankets of ice. As you might expect, someone had died. They couldn't just leave him on the ground. For now, it wasn't such a problem, but very soon the track ahead would be cleared and the train would need to move on. There were 2 guards. There was one mother and her daughter. One corpse. The mother, the girl, and the corpse remained stubborn and silent. Well, what else do you want me to do? The guards were tall and short. The tall one always spoke first, though he was not in charge. He looked at the smaller, rounder one, the one with the juicy red face. Well, was the response, we can't just leave them like this, can we? The tall one was losing patience. Why not? The smaller one damn near exploded. He looked up to the tall one's chin and cried, Shapinsky, you stupid? The appearance on his cheeks was growing thicker by the moment. His skin widened. Come on, he said, trasping over the snow. We'll carry all 3 of them back if we have to. We'll notify the next stop. As for me, I had already made the elementary of mistakes. I couldn't explain to you the service of my self-disappointment. Originally, I'd done everything right. I'd studied the white snow sky who stood at the window of the moving train. I practically inhaled it, but still, I wavered. I buckled. I became interested in the girl. Curiosity got the better of me, and I resigned myself to stay as long as my schedule allowed. And I watched. 23 minutes later, when the train stopped, I climbed out with them. A small soul was in my arms. I stood a little to the right. The dynamic train guard duo made their way back to the mother, the girl, and the small male corpse. I clearly remember that my breath was loud that day. I'm surprised the guards didn't notice me as they walked by. The world was sagging now under the weight of the snow. Perhaps 10 meters to my left, the pale, empty-stomached girl was standing, frozen, frost-stricken. Her mouth jittered, her cold arms were folded, tears were frozen to the book thief's face. The eclipse. Next is a signature black, to show the poles of my versatility, if you like. It was the darkest moment before dawn. This time, I had come for a man perhaps 24 years of age. It was a beautiful thing in some ways. The plane was still coughing. Smoke was leaking from both its lungs. When it crashed, 3 deep gashes were made in the earth. Its wings were now swan-off arms. No more flapping, not for this metallic bird. Some other small facts. Sometimes I arrive too early. I rush, and some people cling longer to life than expected. After a small collection of minutes, the smoke exhausted itself. There was nothing left to give. A boy arrived first with cluttered breath and what appeared to be a toolbox. With great trepidation, he approached the cockpit and watched the pilot, gauging if he was alive. At which point, he still was. The book thief arrived perhaps 30 seconds later. Years had passed, but I recognized her. She was panting. From the toolbox, the boy took out, of all things, a teddy bear. He reached in through the torn windshield and placed it on the pilot's chest. The smiling bear sat huddled among the crowded wreckage of a man in the blood. A few minutes later, I took my chance. The time was right. I walked in, loosened his soul, and carried it gently away. And all that was left was the body, the dwindling smell of smoke, and the smiling teddy bear. As the crowd arrived in full, things, of course, had changed. The horizon was beginning to charcoal. What was left of the blackness above was nothing now but a scribble, and disappearing fast. The man, in comparison, was the color of bone, skeleton-colored skin, a ruffled uniform. His eyes were cold and brown, like coffee stains, and the last scrawl from above formed what, to me, appeared an odd yet familiar shape, a signature. The crowd did what crowds do. As I made my way through, each person stood and played with the quietness of it all. It was a small concoction of disjointed hand movements, muffled sentences, and mute, self-conscious turns. When I glanced back at the plane, the pilot's open mouth appeared to be smiling. A final dirty joke. Another human punchline. He remained shrouded in his uniform as the graying light arm-wrestled the sky. As with many of the others, when I began my journey away, there seemed to be a quick shadow again, a final moment of eclipse, the recognition of another soul gone. You see, to me, for just a moment, despite all the colors that touch and grapple with what I see in the world, I still often catch an eclipse when a human dies. I've seen millions of them. I've seen more eclipses than I care to remember.